Hello everyone. Today I want to show you how to create horizontal scroll, but this time with repeater. In the previous tutorial I showed you how to create horizontal scroll using layouter, but this time we will use a repeater, and not just a repeater but a dynamic repeater. It will be connected to database, so potentially if we will have more items here, it will automatically work as expected. All right, so this is the version I already created. The first section is just a pre-designed section that I used, and the last one we will create this middle repeater section. All right, so to make things shorter, I already created my repeater item, so I will copy it, and we will create our design in this page. So as you can see, we already have the hero section and the third section. Between these, I will create a new section. For now it will be with different color, just so we can see the difference. I'm working with the advanced mode. You can go to the view, sizing, and select always show advanced. All right, so first of all we need a repeater, right? So let's add a repeater, and I'll change. Actually, I don't remember what's. You know what? I don't think it's important. So let's remove this background color, and I'll just paste the container that I copied from the previous page and stretch it just like this. All right, so it looks something like this. Inside this item, let's make the repeater a bit wider. All right, inside this container, inside the repeater item, I paste this container. It has grid of 2 rows. The first one is it should be 1fr, because this repeater, this item height will be at least as the height of the screen. So let's take it 1fr, and the second row will be auto or max content. For this example, it's good enough. And let's set some gaps between these. It's a bit different from the previous tutorial, and I'll show you how. All right, so number of items, no, I don't want it. I want it to be always horizontal, as long as it should be. So each repeater item, it should be responsive unit. Let's put VW. We will change it later. But also in the example you just saw, you know what, I'll do it later, that this repeater is starting not from the beginning but kind of the middle. But for now, let's just make it 100%, and it will be docked to the top. Yeah, something like this, and I'll just change the text, that item alignment, to start. All right, and I'll just add some padding to the repeater. Let's do something like 50 pixels and 50 pixels from top. All right, just so it will have some space. And now let's connect it to data. So I already have a collection. I'll show you, called projects. It's actually items, and you can see I've actually right now 3 items that is visible, display on the website with all the content. We will use the title, the category, and the order, and of course the image. All right, so let's connect it to projects dataset, and image the image will be connected to the project image. This title will be connected to the category, and this text element will connect it to the title. All right, so we have something like this. Let's make each element much wider. So let's do it like 45 VW. Great. So now you can see that these items not have enough space, so they are wrapping, right? But we need all of them to be at same line without any line break. So what we are going to do is to change the width of the container to be max content, all right? And then it's going outside our section. So this is the start. And the next thing that I'm going to do is actually I want each item to be like close to the height of the screen. Okay, so instead of setting a fixed height to the item itself, I will put this container inside I put this repeater inside another container. So actually we also need to use the sticky as I explained in the previous tutorial. So because it's sticky, it should be same as the height of my screen. So let's place it in container and just give a quick naming because we need to understand the type of layer. So this will be sticky container, and it will also, I will add here, it will have the animation of move. All right. And this is the repeater, of course, and this is the section. So let's select the sticky container, and I'll change its width to be, I will change the oh my god, minimum too high. I'll change this one to be 100%, the repeater. All right, and the parent container, the sticky container, I'll change to be max content. So it will be same as the width of the content. And for some reason I have minus margin. Let's remove it. And I just need to make sure that why it's going like this. Because the docking. The container should be the container that contains this repeater should be docking to the left. So we got same results, but now the repeater is inside a different container. So now I'll change its height. It will be fixed based on the height of my screen. But because I have this on premium banner, I will remove it from the height. So let's go to calculation. It will be 100 VH minus 50 pixels, which is the banner height. All right. So now, because this is determine the height, I can simply stretch the container. This is my choice. You can do something else. You can center it, but for this design, I will stretch it, and I'll add same padding from bottom. So let's do 50 pixels from bottom. Pixels, not percentage. All right. So if you watched the previous tutorial, you remember that I mentioned that sticky is always sticky inside as long as it has enough room to scroll within its parent. Right now, our section, it's exactly the same height as the content. So if I set this container, the repeater container, to be sticky, we will get no effect. So we need this section to be higher. How high? Basically, we need it to be at least same height as our content, right? Because we need to scroll it. We need it to sticky and scroll. So In the previous tutorial, I'll show you that I'm having adding a line, all right, that sets the height and also used as the trigger of the animation. But here we have an issue because this is a dynamic data. We don't know the entire what it will be the width of the repeater. So the trick is, and I mean, this is cool that because I struggled with it a long time to do it. So I found the solution. So basically you create another repeater, an empty one, all right? And the important thing is that each item width height will be the same as this repeater item. So if here we choose 45 VW, so we need to set the height for each element, for each element. So first of all, I need to change from card to list, all right? And then let's give it a strong color, so we'll see what happens. And then each item height will set exactly the same as this item width, all right? So 45 VW, and we also need to match the gaps of this repeater. So let's go to the repeater. Its gap is 40 pixels responsive, and we will set it exactly the same, all right? So basically, let's align it to top and left. So basically, this repeater is exactly in the same height as this repeater width, all right? So let's remove the minus margin. So what's happened, basically, let's see. Oh, sorry, I put it inside a container. Let's cut it out. It needs to be the child of the section. So now it makes the section higher, right? Great. So we don't need it really, we just need it to set the height of our section. And I also need to use same padding, I think, I don't remember, but let's do it. 50 pixels from top, 50 pixels from bottom. So now it's exactly the same, all right? Okay, so if you remember, I don't want this repeater to start animating as it's go into our viewport, but I need it to start animating when this repeater gets sticky, and only then it should start to moving, right? So we need to set the trigger of the animation to a different element, so it will be in charge of making this repeater to moving left, right? So because I cannot, oh, actually I can. Let's see. Let's add scroll animation to this repeater, right? So this will be the trigger, but it will affect a different element. So let's choose, here we go again with the naming, how important is that, but I will choose from the canvas, and let's select this repeater. And now it should go from its design. It should move 217 degrees, okay? But I want it to start from 0 to 100, all right? And you can see immediately that this is already start to animating before it gets sticky, all right? So what we should do, we should go, we're done with the animation for now. We should select this repeater and make it, and add 100 VH from top, all right? Just like this. So now when this trigger will go into our viewport, it will trigger the repeater animation. So let's see how it looks. I need to go to the page, to the specific page. Go here. And now as we scroll down, nothing happens. But as this repeater go into the viewport, it start animating. But we forgot to mention how much movement it should have. So let's go again to the animation. Let's go to adjust animation, and I'll change it to percentage, 100%. Why I'm using 100% when in the previous tutorial I'll show you that I'm using VW, because in the previous tutorial we know exactly the width of this repeater, but now we don't know because it's a dynamic. So I'll set it to 100%. It's catchy, but we'll see how to fix it. So right now it moved great, right? So it end too early, right? So the sticky end too early, but also we have here extra space. So the first solution we already covered in the previous tutorial, which is to add margin from bottom to the element that sets the height of the section, same as the height of the viewport. So let's go to add 100 VH, and now the sticky is, this is still sticky, which is good. As it's go outside, it's stops being sticky, and then we are going back to vertical scrolling. So this is the horizontal part, and this is end, and go to vertical. This is perfect. But here we have huge empty space. So this took me a long time to figure it out. But the idea is that we need to, because we already have content inside our viewport, right? We need to reduce it from the entire width of the scroll animation. Why? Because we are scrolling by percentage, right? So in practice is going 100%, which is to go outside of the screen entirely. So the way to fix it is kind of trick the 100% to be oh, I did a mistake. Yeah, sorry, I'm animating the repeater and not the parent container. So let's remove the animation. I need to do it to the parent container. So let's remove it and add it to the sticky container. So again, sorry, this is entrance, scroll, add, sticky container. You see, this is move. I forgot to do it on this element. It should go from its design, move 270 degrees, 100%, 0 to 1, right? So we will basically get exactly the same result. All right, exactly the same. But now we need somehow to tell this container, you will go 100%, but you need to remove the amount of content you already have inside your screen, right? So ideally, if we will have here calculation, we can do 100% minus 100 VW, but because we don't have it, there is a workaround. So what I need to do, so right now this container, that container repeater, its width is max content, exactly the same as the content of the repeater. So what we can do is basically make it shorter by 100 VH if we will go to the repeater and give it a minus 100 VW from right side. All right, so it looks something like this. So in practice, the container is now shorter, right? So let's see what's happened. So you can see now it's perfect, all right? So it's working perfectly because the container who is animating it's shorter by 100 VW. So, but you can see that we need some gaps here, right? So we can easily go to the repeater and add padding from, right, 50 pixels. And now it will look much better. More complete, I mean. All right, great. But basically this is how you can do it. And let's see an example. If I'll add right here and add 3 more items, which is make our entire content much longer. Not hide, show, yeah. So basically now the width is dynamically changing because we have more items. So now you can see that it's still working perfectly. All right. So just a design choice that I want to show you how I did it is here. I've created like an empty space, so this container is not starting from the beginning, right? So it's super easy. All you need to do is go to the container and you can play with the padding. So if I'll put 50 VW, so now it will start from the center, right? So it's right here, but still it's calculating the 100% of the parent container, so it's still the same width and it's working perfectly. All right. The other things that I did is that I have this kind of another element that is sticky to the top and scroll down with us. So let's do it very quickly. So I can go to the I need to because this container is moving, I don't want to put a content inside this container. This is repeater, it's set the section height. All right, and it can also be hidden, like transparent, or I don't know, I can take the items to make it transparent and it won't bother me. And so I'm going back to I want to add a design element that is stick to the top and scroll down with us. So let's go to the container and let's add a to the section and add a container. All right, and I'll set its height to be again as the width as the height, right? So it's 100 VH minus 50 pixels because I don't have premium. And let's make it transparent, but remember that we have padding here of 50 VW, so it can be if it will be wider, it will cover our repeater. So but actually we can play with the width up to 50. So let's add, I want to add I already create this SVG with our content, so let's make it much higher. Let's do something like this. I will dock it to top left. I can make this, I can make it much higher, and I can remove the background color, and I'll add same padding as I did for the repeater, 50 from left, 50 from top, and I'll set it to be sticky. All right, so now it stick to the top. Of course, it's covering my content. I can make it go back behind the repeater. So now if I click here, you see I'm selecting the repeater, and this is the container that's scrolled down with us. And if you can see, I have a fade effect as it scrolled down. So I don't want it to sync with the entire scroll of this repeater with its trigger. So I can simply use the same method that we did before in the previous tutorial. So we can I can set the height of give it a random height of, I don't know, 100 VH to this line, and this will be the trigger for the fade. So same, I want it to start after like with at the same time with this repeater, which is have margin of 100 VH from top. Let's put it right here, and it will trigger this fade, right? So I wanted to do in a quick way, right? So let's add skull. I need to animate this container. Sorry, this is not a container. Let's for now bring it to front so I can select it. Again, line, skull, add, choose from canvas, this container. I want to make it fade out from its design. And now I can see, I can play with it. So let's do something like this. So as it's go even shorter, let's make it 40%. All right, let's see how it's working. So now as we scroll, it's going into our viewport and it starts to fading out. All right, of course I will put it behind, and then when it's coming back, it will fade in. You can play with a percentage to make it more precise. So all I need to do is move it to back, arrange send back, and make this line transparent. Super important to give names for each trigger element to explain what element is trigger, so you will remember when you see the layers panel why you use for, because here it looks like it's useless, right? So don't forget why you put it right there. So lastly, I will remove this background color so it matched to my design. And now it should work perfectly. So as you see, it's fading out and it's behind this repeater, and the sticky progress is great, and its end to be sticky exactly where I want it to stop to be sticky. Now it's reveal it back. All right, that's it. Hope you find it useful, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and until next time, keep building amazing sites on Wix Studio.